is my
Recording
biggest
in
fear every month,
progress.
that I mess up the link. So thank you for persevering and for problem solving and for finding your way here. I appreciate that. We are gonna go ahead and get started here. So first, kind of the official good morning. My name is Paige Price, and I'm the program manager here at the Waterloo Community Foundation. And so I get to host these monthly Windows on Waterloo presentations. And today we are so excited and fortunate to have Ms. Rocki and Chaveevah from Northend Update joining us. And then one of our council members, Nia Wilder, is also here to present with us. We're doing a really fun joint presentation today, kind of with the common thread being that all of these ladies are so inspiring in our community and the ways that they use media to share positive news and positive stories in our community to counteract a lot of the negativity that we often see in the news and on social media and that kind of thing. And so we're really lucky to be able to learn more about what they're doing and the inspiration behind it. And I mean, they're just so much fun. So this will be great. I'm really excited to have them all here. We will have some time for question and answers at the end. And so if you have any questions come up, you can go ahead and put those into the chat throughout the presentation. We'll just save them all for the end. So yeah, there we go. With that, I am going to turn things over to Rocki and Chaveevah from the Northend Update. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you. And boom shakalaka. Happy Wednesday, everyone.
Yeah, we absolutely had to throw boom shakalaka in there. So.
Right. There's always something good happening on the North End. Don't forget about that. Right. Okay. Yeah, we're glad to be here and glad to get started this morning. Chaveevah and I are longtime friends, and I think that's what started it all. We decided to solve world problems in my backyard for many years. And then once we did remember the Christmas show we did where the mailman came and we had a glass of wine and I was entirely too silly. And they had just made it so you could go live, right? And so we did it and all these people were chiming in and, you know, joining us.
Yeah.
And I remember Travis said, don't let people think I still live at home because the mail was for him. But yeah, so after that, I think we kind of got the bug. We're like, hey, people were watching us and liked us.
Right. And it was just fun. I mean, you know, media as it is today, it's always evolving, right? And if you're of a certain generation, sometimes you're a little bit behind the curve as far as catching up with how things go. But to the extent that we have caught up with how things go, it's a great medium for, you know, connecting with people because that's what everybody's into. So.
Right. And I like what Paige said when we were introduced about how we try to counteract what the media does. That's exactly what we do. We know the media has a job, and it's to talk about the knucklehead down the street that robbed the grocery store or somebody, you know, having a fight. That's what they do. So we can't, you know, just ignore that. But we, and especially me, I was born and raised, I don't know how, I'm the fourth generation, and I have 6 generations that have been here growing up and born in Waterloo, growing up on the North End. So it meant a lot to me to promote good things that I know that were happening in my life. You know, my ancestors' lives had good things going on, and community activism. And so I felt a need to promote Waterloo in a good way and talk about accessible things for everyone.
See, and for myself, I'm from Chicago, but I've lived in Waterloo for 35 plus years. And so it's home, right? The things that you see and the things that you hear don't always match up, okay? The things that you constantly hear about, oh, Waterloo, it's so terrible, it's this, it's that, you know, but that does not match up, or it wasn't matching up with my lived experience or with Rocki's. And we would talk about this. Sometimes all you hear is the bad stuff when we know plenty of people that are doing good things. We know plenty of good events and situations that are happening. So we just started talking about them.
Yeah, and Waterloo's history. We really, really are so proud and happy of our history, which of course my family was a part of. My great uncle came here in 1906. And so for generations with the railroad and the Great Migration. So like many African Americans, we like to emphasize that triangle, which is really the original North End, and talk about things that my ancestors had to go through with racial. We talk about racial issues a lot. We want to be a friendly place to talk about those things. And with half of my family being white, I understand a lot of some of the things that go on in their minds. And I have relatives that are afraid to come to Waterloo because they live in Ionia, and Waterloo is supposed to be, so bad. So I often bring them to Waterloo and have difficult conversations with them. And I thought it would be great to talk about some of the things that they've brought to me on our show that other people might identify with as well. So we have a segment called Give It Air now, where we talk about things that may be a question that somebody, just wants to know.
Yeah. Give It Air gives an opportunity to air out some of those things that people feel like they don't want to mention in polite conversation, but you get a chance to talk about it. It's sometimes the elephant in the room. And so, if the elephant is there, you need to at least acknowledge it. So.
And we like to share Nia's stuff. And also, one thing I want to say is that first in 2017, we didn't know what we were doing. We had no real purpose, as Nia would say. So we actually found out that going to the studio and bringing people to us, where Agnes can put their story on the back screen, we found that to be more adaptable and more easy to handle for us. So a lot of times our whole presence is a lot of social media and sharing good things that Nia puts out. And we've also jumped on that city bandwagon, supporting the mayor and city officials and things like that. So the community can see our city at work.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, we could go on. Don't let us keep going, because we could go on forever. So much good stuff. And in fact, that we have a show called our Pre-Boom, which separates things that are happening like this weekend from our regular YouTube channel, which is just the show which features our featured guests.
Right. The things that are in the Pre-Boom are time sensitive. Maybe something is happening on Saturday or Sunday or early in the next week, and we get a chance to talk about it then, because sometimes people don't find out, and
right. And it wouldn't be relevant in our regular show, because our regular show's a week late on the WC TV channel. So we want to make sure that people get the news out via Facebook in our pre-show. And other than that, I can't think of anything else, except that we finally, now that we have funds, okay, here we go on this. We're so excited. Chaveevah, you're shaking the table.
Excuse me.
We're so excited. Okay. So we're so excited to be able to have funds to give back to our community and support small businesses. So we've been really, really doing that lately. Every show we have a giveaway that from a guest that's on the show. In fact, we've supported Sparklot and anybody that's doing great things in the community. We like to show them support with the funds that our community foundation has afforded us.
Right. It sort of circulates those funds into the community, because we spotlight a specific small business that's out there doing something. We support them directly by making purchases from them. And then when we engage with our audience, we give away those things as gifts. I mean, who does not like a call-in show or whatever where you get gifts? So it's once again drawing more attention to that particular business.
Mm-hmm.
And Yeah.
and putting the money back out into the community is important. And we're still looking at ways in our board meetings to provide scholarships for students. We're working with Travis Ferguson to provide classes for people that might be interested in starting in the real estate career. Things like that we're looking to all of our local businesses that want to get promoted. So we want to be there for them.
One of the first times that we talked about what it is we do and how we got started and stuff like that, I happened across a quote by the tennis player, Arthur Ashe. And he basically said, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And so that's sort of us in a nutshell, as far as how we operate with Northend Update. We, sometimes you can't wait until you have all the big fancy this, that, and the other before you start doing something,
Right. And we started on the bottom. Now we're here.
Hey.
We are so happy to be able to be functioning in the community in our capacity right now. It means a lot to have the support that we've had from so many. And in fact, just opportunities like this mean so much to spread good news about our show. And hopefully you will visit our website, which is called northendupdate.org, where you can watch any video anytime, and also on YouTube at
Northend Update
Boom
Boom Shakalaka.
Shakalaka.
Yeah, long name, but you all know who we are anyway. So
right, and that's the right station. Also on IG, Instagram. We need to get our presence out a little bit more on that platform, and we're also looking for an intern. If you know any people that are looking to learn media down at City Hall, they can learn how to run the cameras down there, and got some great people down there that they work with. So I think that's about it. We gotta let Nia talk.
yes.
No, that's great. That's great. Thank you both so much for sharing more about what you're doing. I love that quote that you shared, Chaveevah. I think I can see how that just totally encompasses what you guys are doing, and it's been fun to watch you continue to grow. And I just saw you guys are announcing the My Waterloo Days parade, or I don't know what the right term for that is, but can you talk about that a little bit a second?
Well, I don't know, it just sounds like fun to me, but I think we're going to be hosted somewhere specific, right? And
we're going to be the MCs.
There you
go.
Yes.
Okay, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
That's what we when we started, we did the KBBG parade, and just doing commentary, like, hey, here comes the mayor, and waving at everyone.
Hey, somebody that just joined the room. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. And so we're so honored to be able to do that. And we're going to give it our best shot and try to do a great job for My Waterloo Days and Experience Waterloo.
Mm-hmm.
So
you guys,
were you going to say something?
Oh, well,
about it? No,
I was going to say what you just said.
Okay.
So yeah.
You guys will be great. I wanted to read one comment that we got from Charlene, and it says, so good to see my fellow Iowans, Northend ladies, and Nia. This is Charlene Michelle. I actually won a prize from Northend and also know the wonderful Nia. So we have one of your prize winners right here in the virtual room.
All right.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Charlene. And we have a prize winner. That reminds me, I got to deliver a coffee cup today.
Okay.
Yes, thank you so much. And we sure appreciate all of the kind words and encouragement. One more thing I'd like to say, we've been aging. I know you can't tell, but my hair, I was a brunette back in 2017. And I think I'm going to go lighter as the more gray comes, but it's also an opportunity to represent our generation. And you don't see people like us very often in media doing what we do. So we don't take that for granted as well.
Right. It's been an opportunity to reinvent ourselves in some way, because as you get older, your role in life changes in so many ways. Anyway, you're not raising little children. If you were a parent, you're not raising little children anymore.
Yeah.
Your life is on a different trajectory. And so you just get a chance to do stuff that, that might be
You're
fun.
not getting
Yeah.
older, you're chronologically gifted.
Oh,
right.
I love
I
it.
like that. Yes.
Thank you. Yes. And
It's
and
just
we're-
like me. I'm not fat, I'm just under tall.
Okay.
Perfect.
Good one.
Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. Yes.
All right, awesome. Well, I think we'll move over to Nia now and have her share about her connecting you to the Lou series. I don't know if anyone has seen that on the city's Facebook page, but she has been working through that series for a while now, and again, just sharing about great things that are happening and really going in deep with some of our like city services and departments and that kind of thing. It's been really interesting to learn more about, oh yeah, who is behind the garbage trucks that are going around and all of those things that we just don't think of how important these people definitely are to keep our city running. So I will turn things over now to Nia. Thanks for being here.
Awesome. And thank you so much for having me. Before I start, can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So my name is Nia Wilder, and I just want to backtrack a little bit because I wasn't always a council person. Prior to city council, and still, I focused on multimedia. So I'm a photographer, a videographer, and I also mentor at-risk youth and their families here locally. And one of the things that I really wanted to work on when I got elected for city council was to change the way that we communicated with each other. Like me personally, I just felt like I could call them. You should call the mayor if you have any questions about the city, but then you have to realize, no, there are people in departments that you can call. There are city clerks that you can call. There are secretaries and executive assistants that you can call. And so I knew that I wasn't the only one that was feeling like this. So I went to the mayor and I said, Mayor, I want to do a show with Agnes and Ed about connecting the people of Waterloo to all the different resources and city departments. And he was like, that's a great idea, do it. I took it to Agnes and Ed, and shout out to them, first of all, because they are what keep me and the Northend update up and running is Agnes and Ed. Agnes and Ed are incredible. So shout out to them. But I contacted them about the idea, and they've just been going with this ever since. And they've kept it fun. They kept it light. Even the officials and people that we interview, they feel so good about it because they were like, wow, I thought that was going to be difficult, but it was so fun. And then you hear people in the community that are just like, I love watching the series of Connecting You. I never knew who to call for this and for that. And thanks to the series, we know who to call. And so that's just one thing that I want to do to help make Waterloo a beautiful place, is to change the way that we communicate and just to give us the resources and knowledge that we need. And that is what I use Connecting You for. That was probably short, but that was, yeah.
No, that's great. I love it. Where is the best place for us to find your videos? Do those, like even the kind of backlogged ones, do they live on YouTube or somewhere like that?
Yes, their forever home is YouTube on the City of Waterloo's website or the City of Waterloo's YouTube. But you can also go to the City of Waterloo's Facebook page and the website to find Connecting You. You can also go to my Facebook page, which is Councilwoman Nia Wilder, Ward 3. And I also have the Connecting You videos there as well.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay, if anybody has any questions that you would like to ask either the whole presenting crew here or anyone individually, feel free to drop those into the chat. I did want to piggyback on the shout out to Agnes and Ed because they also help us run over here. They attend every Windows on Waterloo presentation, record it, put it on YouTube, and like put the pretty graphic at the beginning, and all that I have to do is copy and paste the link that they give me. And so they are helping all of us here, which is so amazing. So shout out to them. They do a great job. They're so helpful and speedy too. And so it's great.
And so easy to work with.
Yes, they make a great team and working together. Yes. And they're so fun. Yeah, easy to work with, like you said, Nia.
Yes. And even further, they just put the link to the YouTube page for the
Yeah, I
Connecting
just saw that. Yeah.
chat for everybody. So
See, Agnes and Ed, man, I'm telling you, they are
they're on
quick.
it. They're on it.
Always.
Or Ed and Agnes, Chaveevah and Rocki, you know.
Yeah. Nia.
Yeah, Nia.
Nia.
Perfect. You know, I wanted to say that about Nia. This young woman is just so impressive. I just loved you since I met you. The
Well,
thing
thank
that
you.
about Nia is that we're talking about connecting you, but before connecting you, Nia gave so many people inspiration and purpose.
Yep,
you
on
know,
the radio.
on the yeah,
You know, a lot of different areas. Yeah, I wanted to make a comment about you too, Nia, with the connecting us thing.
Oh,
One of
y'all
the
are gonna
things
make my cheeks pop. Stop it.
One of the things that I think is really so cool about it is not only do people get an opportunity to learn about these different departments, but the people who work in them, sometimes you can feel like your job is sort of a thankless thing. And so now there's someone interviewing you and talking to you about what you do. These people, you can see they love giving this information. So it's a win-win.
yeah,
Yeah.
doing a great job.
And the same goes for you all too. Like before I even had a platform, you all made sure that the smallest of people, the biggest of people, anyone can come on your show and use the platform to talk about their product, to talk about what's going on with Waterloo. Like you said, we often do hear a lot of the negative things that are going on, but you ladies do the best job at highlighting the most beautiful things about our city. And I really appreciate the work that y'all do. Seriously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nia.
Thank you.
Our cheeks are popping too.
Yeah.
yeah, for Rocki and Chaveevah, if somebody wanted to come on the show to feature their organization or something coming up or anything like that, how do people go about doing that?
Please email us. I sometimes, like this week, I had a cancellation and I'm searching for people, which shouldn't be. So
yeah, northendupdate@gmail.com. Or if they see us you know, online, just an inbox on, you know, like especially if you're already a friend and connected in that way, just inbox and say, hey, we got this event, or you know, just we feel like people need to know more about us, about our organization.
Yes. If you would like us to purchase something to give away on our show, email us as well.
There you go.
northendupdate@gmail.com.
Awesome. I just put that email in the chat too. So if anybody needs to copy and paste that, that's great. Another question for everybody is if you can kind of think back on some of your past shows, who have been some of your favorite either guests or departments or something that you've featured in one of your shows? What have been some of your favorites?
I'm going to say the day Nia brought Jane Elliott to town.
Oh my goodness.
That's right.
That was incredible.
It was. Yeah, we were just sitting. Nia was our guest that day.
Yeah.
And she came down so overwhelmed.
It was like, yes, that's what I just saw.
Right. And we were like, because Jane Elliott didn't ring a bell. And she was like, you know, the white lady, blue eyes, brown eyes, you know, and I'm like, oh yeah, right. So then we had the show with Nia, but she wasn't impressed by us being on, or her being on the show. She just wanted to talk about Jane Elliott. So we eventually all got together and we kind of started out in my backyard, which was fun. And we made the trip to Jane Elliott's house in what town, Nia? What town was that?
Racine, I think.
Yeah, up north, I think somewhere. And she was so kind.
Yes. Nice, funny, spontaneous.
It was great. She made us snacks. She gave me.
That's right.
We swapped.
Made us some apple crisp.
Yeah, it was great.
It was. So I'd say that ranks right up there, even though they didn't have Wi-Fi, right? Our videos turned out not as good as they should have.
Yeah, ghost in the machine or something.
Right.
But yeah.
But that was one of my favorites. How about you?
Well, we've had some musical guests on before who actually played their instruments right there. And Blue Meadows.
Blue Meadows, yeah, he's
Yeah.
coming to town soon.
Yeah.
too. So yeah, and Kevin Bird
Evan
came and
Bird,
sang
oh, for
happy
sure.
birthday.
Yep.
Yeah, so and of course the mayor, he's always fun because he never knows what we're gonna say. You know, he's thinking, what are they gonna say? Hope they don't.
He
lose
rolls
me
with the
some
punches
votes.
pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and we just everybody we try to have fun with and get to know a little bit better.
For me, I would have to say my most fun interviews are the ones where I get to like be funny and not have to be so serious. So like when we went to interview for the golf courses, at the end of it, I got to get in a golf course and just ride out, and I had a great time. So I really enjoy those where I can get in. Like when I interviewed Keith at the airport, I so badly wanted us to lift up in a helicopter and just ride off.
No.
So I like those. I like the fun interviews where I can, you know, have a little time.
Sorry, I was
Yep,
muted,
that's
but
what
I
I was
said I
saying.
love that. That's hilarious. I see Charlene has a hand up. Charlene, do you have a question or is that an accident?
Yes, my hand is up, and I'm gonna turn my camera
perfect.
back
Go
on.
ahead.
I'm gonna turn my camera back on because I just wanted to say I wanted to show the piece that I won from Northend, and I wanted to say this is really a great meeting. I'm so glad that I was able to be here, especially since I know Nia, and then the art was brought to my house personally, so I was able to meet her for the
That's
first
right,
time,
that
and we
was
talked a
Nia.
little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, and then thanks to my company, I work for True Stage. I work for CUNY Mutual Group, True Stage, so that's how I'm able to be here. I was asked could I join it, and they allowed me to be off the phone to join this. So I'm so glad I had the opportunity to do that.
Wow.
Shout
that's
out
great.
to
But I'm gonna
them.
turn my camera on so I can show my piece. But you know, Nia, you my girl, you the bomb.com.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna
Yes.
turn this on. So let me show you guys the piece that I won, and I won this through on the Renita on the paparazzi with Renita for one night.
remember.
So I had something.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let me turn it on. So this is what I won. Let me see if I can get it on the camera.
Oh,
I won this art.
Oh, that's one of your my favorites. Yes, it's
Yeah.
I love
Yeah, so I just
that.
wanted I wanted to share this with you guys.
Well,
And it was so
thank
nice.
you.
She personally brought it to my house. So thank you. And we got a chance
Yo,
to like
you're
meet each
welcome.
other. Because
You're
I'm not
so
originally from
welcome.
Waterloo. I just been here about 10 years. So I'm really from Chicago. So,
Okay,
but
yep.
I'm a Waterlooan now, I guess. I've been here over 10 years.
Oh, yes. Yep.
Well, thank you for
Welcome
staying,
to-
Miss Charlene.
You too. It was so nice to see everybody and be here with you guys today.
Seeing you too.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yes, stay in touch. Stay in touch. You'll win something else real soon. Just watch.
Yes, ma'am. I got you. I got you guys on my Facebook. I got you.
Okay. Thank you, Charlene.
Another question for all three of you really is how do you continue to like engage your current viewers or grow your audience to reach more viewers? Do you guys have any thoughts on how you've been able to grow or some things that you're doing in that way?
Well, for Northend Update, it's always a challenge trying to come up with content. And now that we have 50 viewers on YouTube,
Subscribers,
subscribers, we're thinking about a way to do things that are exclusive on YouTube, like maybe surprising somebody on their job with somebody that's doing something nice for the community, or we're still trying to think of content that'll be different than just interviewing people on our show. Maybe highlighting some of Chaveevah's artwork
or a conversation with a group of people about, I don't know, a specific topic.
Yeah. So yeah, it's always a challenge. And we now that we have 50 subscribers on YouTube, we're trying to grow that audience and maybe not stay specific in Waterloo. That's always a challenge too. Do we stretch out to Cedar Falls and try to, navigate the whole Cedar Valley, which we kind of do, but
we used to do more of a little earlier on, but that gets to be.
Yeah, traveling around is
Yeah.
a bit much, but we definitely invite Cedar Falls people and around the community to be on our show because it's always in traveling distance for our viewers. So to answer your question, what do you think, Chevy? How do we grow our audience?
Well, I guess I can't add much more to that than to say that it is kind of a challenge, but at the same time, when you think about things that are funny or of interest, there are probably other people that find those things interesting too, and sort of to branch out a little bit more.
Yeah. How about you, Nia?
So, and the question was, how do we go about marketing the things that we're doing, correct?
Yeah, like how do you continue to engage your audience and grow your reach and that kind of thing?
So for us with Connecting You, we just have to make sure that we are doing our interviews based on what people want to know. And so since we covered the bases of the top things, now we have people reaching out like, hey, could you talk a little bit more about this? Hey, could you come here because we're doing that? So we're just making sure that we're being engaged with the people of the community and figuring out what there's a lack of knowledge in, and seeing if that's something that we can cover with our show. So if anyone is watching feels like, oh, you should talk more about this, or oh, try to do this, feel free to reach out to me or Agnes and Ed. Or
Yeah.
Agnes and Ed, or me, because they're pretty busy, or Agnes and Ed, whatever works best. Just to reach out to someone so that we can get it figured out and can continue to put the knowledge right where the people need it.
The reason I joined today was because of the little thing that came on my, whatever you
Oh,
call
thanks,
it, on my
Agnes.
computer. And I had no clue what this was all about. So I think word of mouth will be part of it. And if there's any way that you can say on there something like informal or casual discussion of, if there's any way, because I looked at it and I thought, oh, this is 1,000 people. And I'm just supposed to listen to all their important stuff. So this is kind of a nice thing to know is happening, which I had no clue about. So if there's some way you can put on there that it's just a casual discussion or a meeting of whatever. I know, yeah, I know you'll think of something, Nia. But I just happened on this. I wrote it on my planner and said, I have to see this, what it's about one time. So now I'll be aware of it in the future.
Well, that's great. We're so glad that you're here, Mary. Thank you for joining us. It looks like we had a question come in for you, Chaveevah. How can we find your artwork? Do you sell it anywhere locally?
Northend update page.
There you go. Well, if it's not on the Northend update page, see, my problem is I'm more of probably a better artist than businesswoman. So you can always certainly get in contact with me if there's something that you're interested in. Every year there are events like maybe Holiday Arts Fest or the Northend Arts and Music Fest is coming up in July, and I'll be there with some of my art. But other than that, just reach out and let me know that you're interested in something.
You can email her at northendupdate@gmail.com or Chaveevah Dread at Yahoo, or on her Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
On our Facebook page. All of her artwork is on our Northend update page and available for purchase.
And you can also convince her to put it in the spark lodge.
There you go.
Okay, now see, like I said, I'm a better artist probably than businesswoman, but
we need her to put it in the spark lodge.
And
Nia, can you talk a little bit about Sparklot and what you're doing over there?
Yeah, so Sparklot is a retail store that I own downtown Waterloo. It's right next door to Bank, Iowa, on the corner of East 4th and Mulberry. And we sell products for small local businesses. So if you have artwork like Miss Chaveevah, we have someone that sells freeze-dried candy in there. We sell clothing. We sell the products for Experience Waterloo and Main Street Waterloo. And then we pay our small businesses every 2 weeks for the proceeds that they receive. For nonprofit organizations, we don't charge them anything to sell their products. We just give them 100% of their return. And so that's just another thing that every opportunity that I put myself in, I always make sure that it helps people around me. And so that was my thing for Sparklot, is how can I pour into small businesses, and how can you still make your product at home, but still have a professional storefront? And so that's where Sparklot comes in at. And so we really want Miss Chaveevah's artwork. And if this wasn't bad enough, me getting her artwork tattooed on my arm, I don't know what's gonna do it.
Oh, that's right.
I just don't know what's gonna do it. I don't know what's gonna do it.
It's done. What does that say? Less? It's done.
Right. Wow.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And yeah, I love what you're doing at Sparklot. And I think it fits with the same theme we've been talking about here today, of like giving people platforms and celebrating what they're doing. And that's just another way to amplify what's going on and the cool things that people are making. And the freeze-dried candy is so good.
Yes.
I went in there one day and she gave me a sample, and that convinced me to buy like 4 packs of
So we actually just got a restock in on Tuesday. And we open at 12, so I will have to hop off the Zoom so I can get there on time. But we do open at 12 today, and we'll be there until 8 o'clock if anybody wants to stop down. Again, we're on the corner of East 4th and Mulberry. And we also have information packets for my Waterloo days, and Experience Waterloo released a custom t-shirt for my Waterloo days specifically. So we have that available too.
All right.
Awesome. Well, ladies, I think we can wrap up here, but before we do, what are the best ways that our group here, and how can we best support what you guys are doing, and how can we cheer you on and come alongside you as you continue your work?
That's a great question, Paige. I think the best way to support us is by watching our YouTube channel or watching our shows that are live and interacting with us while we're live. Also, send us an intern, Nia. Anybody that you know that just wants to be down there and help read comments. Ed does a great job, and Agnes do a great job, but we can't ask too much of them.
I see it just popped up on the screen and said share. Yes.
And share. Yeah, like and share our shows.
Yeah, I would share those sentiments. Like, comment, share, subscribe, send information, stop by, shop local, shop small, and pass on knowledge. That's all of those things.
Yes,
that's awesome. Thank you. I know I was talking to a friend about that. She has a small business, and we were talking about how a lot of times people only comment on something when they have like a negative thought about it. And how important it is to like comment the positive thing, like this is great, or I love that, or that kind of thing, because a lot of times the only thing that prompts us to comment on stuff is a negative feeling. And so that's all great. And we will, when we post about this on social media, we'll be sure to tag your pages too, so that people can easily find it. We do, well, again, Agnes and Ed record these meetings, and we will email that out to everybody. So if you are talking to anybody who had problems getting onto our link today, again, I apologize for that, but we will have the recording available. We'll email it out. We post it on our social media, on the Waterloo Community Foundation pages, and then it is on YouTube as well, and on our website. So there are ways to find it and to be able to share this gathering as well if you would like to. But Rocki, Chaveevah, Nia, thank you so much for joining us today and for taking the time to talk about what you do. Your work is so inspiring and fun, and we're really grateful for everything that you do to share the positive stories happening around Waterloo and in our community. We're just really excited about it. So thank you for joining us today. We are grateful. And we, as a reminder to everybody here, we do these presentations once a month on the first Wednesday of every month. And so we'll be getting together again on July 5th. It's crazy that we'll already be in July the next time we get together. I'm still finalizing details of who our presenter will be that day, but I'm hoping to have someone from Experience Waterloo here to talk about how my Waterloo days went this year, and then some other kind of tourism type things, like we've been seeing about the arena football team, Lost Island
Yeah.
theme park, different stuff like that, to just speak into some of those things that help put our city out there and promote tourism here. So that's what I'm hoping, but keep an eye on your emails for details about that. I'm a little bit behind on this one, I guess, but again, thank you all so much for joining us today, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank